the noise gate.
Well, maybe you'll.
We are going live. We are touching the sky. Put up,
how do we get the chat up?
I don't know what you did.
All I did was open it. I didn't touch anything. No, I didn't.
That isn't supposed to be gone. You probably X'd it.
I probably X'd it out last time.
Yeah. Don't do that. You never do that.
Well, I was probably trying to close the whole window and thought that.
That's the wrong one.
It has X's.
Yeah. And that X doesn't do anything other than close that permanently because.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, now I kind of sort of see where to do that at. So.
Oh, and now. And that doesn't do anything cool. So, well, chat's going.
Oh, for real?
Not see the fact that the entire tab whited out?
Yeah, but
that's not supposed to look like that.
I understand that. But it looked like it was loading.
What's in your cup?
All right, regardless. So, we're starting with what's in my cup? Coffee.
I don't have a cup.
My You have a can. I promise I will not try to touch your can.
Okay.
All right, I'll see.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, it came up. Okay. Sure, we can do the show. Well, once again, everyone, Happy New Year. Excuse me. You said, can we do the show now? I am. So the last time you saw us live, it was Paul and I, because Dan wasn't here. And we have Dan. We have Dan with us today. And speaking of Dan, there will be a short announcement video, life update video. It was working. Maybe we'll try it one more time. It did that when I first plugged them in. But okay, no problem. So we will have a short video coming tomorrow or the next day, a little life update for Dan. So we're not going to talk about that on the podcast. We're going to try to squeeze one more podcast in sometime this week to further discuss that.
Do this. We are. Don't talk. It'll echo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now we can do the show.
Okay, so we're good now?
Yeah. I fixed the problemo.
You might have to show me how you did that. I write it down later. Anyway.
I don't have to show. I just literally took the mic off, put it on like the computer, went back.
Oh, really? Okay. I might remember that. Because at some point when you're not around to do a podcast, I'm going to have issues and we're going to be all kinds of crazy. Anyway, can you stop doing that?
Oh, no.
Don't do that. You know what? You're about ready to get fired from the podcast. Anyway, so welcome to the podcast, everyone. Happy New Year. Dan and I want to talk about, I know the title of this is Alice in Squid Game. But yeah, so we're gonna talk real quick about Squid Game season 2. My heavens. And then we're gonna bring up another show that some of you may or may not know about. Anyway, so Squid Game season 2. Overall, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the new characters that we got to see and the development of them, and then just the kind of seeing more of a behind the scenes of Squid Game. So you're seeing things from the viewpoint of one of the shooters. You're seeing the guy, the recruiter guy, you're seeing him a little bit more, hearing about his story a little bit more. So that was really cool.
He's just kind of a dick.
Well, yeah, he is, but it was just cool to see that, and also to see the cop come together. What is your problem?
I really like the idea. Your ADHD is showing. Keep hearing it. Funny.
I cannot. I just can't. Are we going to talk about this or not?
We're talking. I'm waiting for you to be done talking about it.
Anyway, I thought Squid Game season 2 was good. I was a little disappointed with the ending. Like, I didn't expect such a huge cliffhanger, and yet when I watched it a second time, it didn't seem like as big of a cliffhanger as I had originally thought. But it's still a cliffhanger. Glad that season 3 is coming out this year so we can find out how this all ends. I'm digging it. I was actually a little surprised that number 1 was the front man, and I'm wondering why. You know? I guess. I mean,
it's that crazy of.
It's just.
Let him get close.
Well, that's true, but I don't know. I'm just like,
overall,
why?
I mean, it was fine. It was offensive.
I liked so I really liked the merry-go-round game.
I liked the
Okay.
Outside of that, I honestly, I think because it's the way Netflix. All right, so you actually need to make a season 4. So make Gi-hun the new front man that we can watch it from perspective.
I don't
and
think
what that day-to-day life.
Yeah, I don't think that he would ever be the front man. I
don't think so either. But that's why season 4 would be.
Like, yeah, you can't.
They're going to force a season.
I don't think so.
I have a weird feeling that Netflix might that.
Well, I think that
up with them. They would want to try and find a way.
I think that they'll stop with season 3.
I hope they do.
What were there, 7 episodes or 8?
I don't
remember. I think it was 7 because I think there were 9. No, it was more than that because I think there were 9 in the first season, and I think there were 7 in this one. So I hope we get at least 7
TV shows, especially Netflix, or season episodes.
I agree.
It doesn't. Can't do.
Well, there are some. There are some out there that give you like 12.
There are,
but
even that's not a lot.
It's not a lot. It really isn't.
Like, you really need to go to the 15+ range with certain shows.
Right. It depends on the show. But anyway, so overall, Squid Game, it was okay. I think season 3 will be.
It was literally a trailer
for season 3.
Yeah. Like
I think season 3 is going to be pretty good.
Do you want to know my real thought on why they?
That's why we're podcasting. Let's
not like that. My real thought behind that is they broke it up into 2 seasons, not because there'd be too many episodes or they couldn't maintain it, but because they wanted to draw it out, and B, I really think Netflix looked at it and was like, if we set it up like this, then we don't have to put all the episodes out in one. And I really think that's what it is, because Netflix is the only one of these streaming services that hasn't even squinted at the idea of not releasing episodes all in one show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the thing that's, because you don't get as with characters. They, and there have been people that studied this and blah blah blah. It is far more effective to watch one episode a week. But then, if you give everyone a whole season in one shot, why would they wait? It's same principle as in like video games, where like, oh, you can have this thing that'll kill everyone in one shot, or you can have this thing that kills people in 5 shots. A lot more fun. No one's gonna pick the other thing because you want to win,
Right.
but at the cost of winning, you lose. You're not having fun anymore.
Well, they do. There is at least one show I can think of off the top of my head that Netflix does, that they put out like 4 episodes, and then the following week they put out another 4. Like,
they only did that. I think it's Stranger Things.
I don't remember if that was Stranger Things. I do know that they do it for The Circle.
Okay, yeah, and that's not good enough.
They may have. I mean, I don't know.
Now you're not appeasing. Now you're not appeasing the people who want to binge, and you're definitely not appeasing the people who are looking for a little thing.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not about. It's about. All I'm saying is when a company starts flim-flamming like that, it's the beginning of the end. This is what happened.
Okay, so
I hope Netflix.
Before I segue into the next thing that we're going to talk about.
You want 30 more streaming services so we can pay $10 for all?
No, because I wouldn't do that.
Okay, yeah, so let's kill Netflix. Someone gets their properties, makes better use of
them. So, yeah, real quick before I segue into the next portion of this video. If you are new around here, please don't forget to subscribe. We also have memberships. Right now we have 1 level of membership. Eventually I would like to add more, but right now I can't commit to the perks of higher memberships. I have a lot of ideas for the higher membership tiers, but I can't commit to putting out those perks just yet. So we have 1 level of membership if you are interested. But if not, hey, subscribing is free, so that's cool. And, don't forget to leave us some comments and to like the video. And if you pop in live, say hello. We'll chit-chat with you. And when you subscribe, turn on those notifications and select all, because you never know when we're going to go live. We just don't have a schedule because... Actually, it is what it is.
Unrelated, but because you brought up the member, there's one person I've seen that, like, there's 2 membership tiers. There's like, oh, I just want to be a member, and then the next step up. And if you go the next step up, you get like a monthly token or whatever for they have a separate website that goes to. And it's effectively like a battle pass from a game, but you get like real life merchandise for doing. I don't know what his setup is, but it's like you do these things, you earn points, and now you get this.
Well, that definitely won't be us.
Well, obviously, but no, I just think that's the coolest thing I've seen the memberships do. And then you have like Moist Critical, who, if you're a member, you get to use his claw machine, which that's cool.
So let us segue into the next section here. If you are a fan of Squid Game and you enjoy that type of show, you may or may not have heard of Alice in Borderland. Probably the most underrated Netflix show, in my opinion. You don't hear many people talking about it at all, and everybody that I talk
I was gonna the same. I get why people compare. Or, yeah, I know. It's going. Uh, a second ago. Right.
Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. So I don't know how much of that you guys missed. But I found Alice in Borderland because of Squid Game. I was looking for something similar to it because I enjoyed it so much. Found Alice in Borderland. I actually felt bad that I found Alice in Borderland second. However, I probably wouldn't have liked Squid Game as much had I watched Alice in Borderland first. Um, I think Alice in Borderland is underrated. I think it's better than Squid Game.
I don't know if it's underrated. The problem with that is if you look at the actual ratings that have been reported,
I haven't. So
yeah, it's definitely not under. Well, you heard them the other day, and I had that one over the things. He's like, yeah, season 1 for Alice in Borderland, it was like it broached number 10 in its week across like.
Did it beat Squid Game?
I don't know. But it broached the top 10 in its first week in like 17 or 20 plus countries, and then it was number 1 in amount of those. Then it was even more so in season 2, where it was number 1 in 10 countries.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, comparing it to Squid Game, there's so much hype around Squid Game.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And there's like zero hype around Alice in Borderland. I had never heard of Alice in Borderland until after the first season, Squid Game.
Yeah, I'm saying hype doesn't.
And but that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so let's talk Alice in Borderland. Now, I can't remember, when did the last one come out? The season 2 was like 2022?
I don't know.
I believe it came out in 2020 and then 2022, I think. Anyway, Alice in Borderland, it was confirmed in November that there will be a season 3. So Dan hadn't watched it yet, and I had watched it 2 years ago. So I or 3 years ago, I don't know, whenever it was. And so I had Dan watch it with me last week, and this week we finished it off. And I was very excited to learn that there will be a 3rd season. So exciting. So we blew through seasons 1 and 2. And we got to talk to him. Talk about it. I think, I don't know. I think I like the characters even better in Alice in Borderland.
There's more characters, so that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, although in Squid Game season 2, the guy with the purple hair was pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, well, there's more characters in season 2.
Yeah, he was pretty funny, but I don't know, man. I'm just such a freaking fan of Alice in Borderland. It's ridiculous. In fact, can you grab my mom? It's in that green bag. So, Dan, if you saw our Christmas mini vlogs, got me volume of Alice in Borderland. This is a manga, and for those of you that don't know what a manga is, explain.
It's a book.
Yeah,
like
but
quite. Yeah, it's a book. There's really nothing.
No, but explain what manga is. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, it's a Japanese written book.
And you read it backwards.
Oh, yeah, well,
that's what I'm saying. You have to explain.
All right. Yeah, so because it's Japanese, they read right to left in the pages, not the contents of the page itself.
Even in the contents I noticed, it does read that way.
Yeah, just you wouldn't start here. You start in this box.
Actually, no. I noticed when I was doing it.
Maybe I
read this way.
Okay.
You do read it. You start there and read. Yes.
Maybe my brain's a little foggy. But anyway,
at least for this.
No, that'd be all of them then.
Okay, that's how they all are.
I'm tired. Anyway, yeah. So it's a Japanese book. If you like it, I think comparing it to a comic book is kind of dirty. But if you like comics, you would love manga.
But it still kind of is.
It's not though.
And
comic books have a very specific style of writing and a very specific like.
Well, for lack of something better to say,
right,
it is like a comic book, really. But it is a little bit more than that. I'm trying to find.
They are full-on books that just are more illustrated than your typical light novel. You know, like every page is illustrated, to convey exactly what the author was envisioning. Which personally, I like having some of that work taken, some of the onus taken off the reader. In that way, it prevents problems with like live action adaptations, for example, where it's like, oh, I never envisioned this character this way because the description they gave kind of painted this picture for me, but that description fits 30,000 different possible combinations of a human. So you know, with a manga, you don't have to worry about that. With comics, you don't have to worry about that. I like that personally. But also with manga, it's so like I personally would classify it as masterfully drawn.
It is drawn so well.
It is like
I'm trying to find a really good,
gorgeous. And for anyone who is a fan of the manga for Alice in Borderland, if you haven't seen the show. You got to see the show. It is like 90% of the characters are like 1-to-1. I don't know how they got the casting like that.
Yeah. And I think I can safely say that both of us have the same favorite character.
Yeah. Chishia. That's our beautiful blonde baby. And also,
he's awesome.
I will say this as well: not all manga are black and white.
Right, but this one happens to be.
A lot of them are, but
anyway, so the manga is actually 19 books, but it's 8 volumes. So they put 2 books in 1 volume, and
you can see the resulting covers as well.
Volume 1. Only goes up to the end of the second episode, I think.
That's what something
like that. And
I haven't read it for clarity,
or maybe not even quite the end of it. But anyway, so I'm anxious to purchase the other ones and read it because I do know that it spans season 1 and season 2. So I would like to get them and read them before season 3 comes out. But let's talk Alice in Borderland real quick. So
we still are.
I know, but I mean, let's get into it more because we were explaining the manga.
I know, it's just very funny.
But love Chishia. Favorite.
That's our guy.
Favorite. I mean, Arisu is awesome, and Arisu in Japanese translates to Alice. That's why it's Alice in Borderland. And why don't you explain what the Borderland is? I mean, you don't even really have to explain it. It's just it's kind of like a purgatory.
Okay, well, you said it. I was going to say, should we? Because that's not that clear at the very beginning. It's kind of a part of the plot twist.
Well, look, it's been out on Netflix for however many years now. If you haven't seen it.
Right, but you also you started this by saying, if you haven't seen it, you should really go see it.
Yes, you really should see it. But so the Borderland is basically... Borderland is basically similar to a purgatory, but at the same time, it really happened.
Look, it's
bizarre.
It is literally the border between life and death.
Yeah,
and it is not necessarily purgatory.
Yeah, it's sort of like just before it, I guess, in a
No,
way.
it's the cusp.
It's
It's literally you're on the, and this is why it's a. All right, look, if you don't know the show, tune out now. That's what's got to happen here.
right. Like if you're interested in seeing it, because we're talking. That's all there is to it.
All right, I wish I knew that.
Let's just go for it. But go watch Alice in Borderland. Go freaking watch it. It's awesome.
So the way it works, and it's left up to interpretation a little bit. But for me personally, the way I've read into this is, if you are going to die, you're then sent to the Borderland as like, this is your last chance. This is your chance to hold on for dear life just a little bit longer. And the thing that tends to cause you to actually end up dying in reality is losing the game.
Right.
Game
So
in Borderland.
each game is set by a it's a difficulty and type of game, right?
Yeah,
Is that how
difficulty and
you-
genre. Sure.
Okay. So like if you had like what was it, 3 of
Clubs.
3 of clubs. Now the clubs are the team games.
Mm-hmm.
Where typically you have to use your brain as well a little bit. And they can also be physical as well, but it's more of a team effort to try to clear the game. So is that the first one? 3? It was a 3 of clubs?
Yes.
So that was the first game that they walk into. They have no idea what they're doing. At the end of the game, you earn a visa or like a pass to basically not play any games until that visa is up, and you earn it. So you earn that one for 3 days. So whatever the number is on the card is the amount of days that you earn your visa for. And you also collect a card that represents the game you just played. So the thought is that, oh, if we collect all the cards, we clear all the games, we collect all the cards, we get to go home. And so what was it spades? What the
I don't.
tag?
Okay, yeah,
Tag
that was
that a 7?
That was a spade. It was 7 of spades.
7 of spades.
I am so confused as to where you're going with this.
No, I'm just trying to explain. So like the 7 is like the difficulty level. The spades tells you what type of game it is. So that was a physical game. So the spades are physical, the diamonds are intellectual, and the hearts are matters of the heart, where it's going to play with your emotion. So we sort of discussed this a little bit before. Did you have a favorite game that we got to see them play, or did one sort of stick out to you as whatever?
I mean, game wise, yeah, for me, it wasn't really the games that stuck out as much as moments that stuck out.
Okay.
And a couple of them happened to be, like, obviously there's a good moment during the 10 of Hearts. There's a good moment during that, was it King of Clubs? Yeah, during the King Clubs.
The one where they were running around in that
in the shipment yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really good moments on the whole.
Definitely.
But I don't think the games are the draw. Like, realistically, and the way people really should think about it is, if you wanted to compare this and Squid Game in any way, shape, or form, you compare it in that Squid Game is about the games, and
correct.
Alice in Borderland is about the story.
It's the journey, it's the story. Um, but the games are a lot of fun, and there's a lot of fun stuff that happens in the game. There's a lot of now. I also want to say, Alice in Borderland is. I know we kind of touched on it, but I want to be clear. Is Japanese, whereas Squid Game is Korean. I think the Japanese are a little more gory. They are not afraid to kill like people like in the second episode. Like, we're gonna kill these couple of main people right here. Now, Arisu, the main guy, yeah, he doesn't die, but
he definitely wasn't off the table.
No, definitely not. And there for a hot minute, I thought, does he die in the Seven of Hearts?
For a second, I thought, if I didn't have the ending ruined for me before that last episode, that Queen of Hearts game might have gotten to me a lot more.
That was crazy.
The Queen of Hearts was kind of bad.
That was nuts. Okay, but I do have to say, if you enjoy a little more blood, a little more gore, Alice in Borderland is probably for you.
If you're of Ace,
and the second season was definitely bloodier than the first. And then you had what's her face? I can't remember her name now. Oh my gosh, it's not coming to me. Usagi, yeah. Usagi. No, I think that's correct. Or Usagi. Yeah, Usagi. She was absolutely badass.
Yeah, she sure.
I mean, she
honestly,
girl had some skills.
Honestly, one thing I will give that show beyond anything else,
the stunts were really good.
The choreography,
yes,
was on a
yes.
Choreography was phenomenal.
The choreography, the
even though
stunts,
there wasn't a lot of it.
Yeah, but
to be clear,
but the choreography and the stunts that went with it were so good, and they were done so well. I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
I would not be too shocked at those pole. I wouldn't be surprised if she obviously harnessed, but if they actually had her make.
Yeah, I don't know if there were stunt people for. I did look at some of the making of. I don't know if there were stunt people for all of them, because in some of the clips I saw in the making of, she was doing some of those. But I don't know if she did those that you're speaking about specifically.
General.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a good possibility. I mean, they were harnessed. Because I believe the ones from the shipping containers, I think she did those.
Were harnessed.
Yeah, well, no, but I think she did them.
Well, I actually basically a lot of those were actually obviously
harnesses
with harness. Or like some of the, like that last one.
Yeah,
they didn't even have containers.
Right.
So they didn't let her like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of that stuff was just. I mean, it was so enjoyable to watch. And yeah, we did see a couple little things with the CGI that we were like, oh, that didn't
really just.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well, did it? But like, you don't even care because it's so good. I didn't care.
When I initially noticed.
Oh, yeah, see, I was fine. I was like, yeah, I noticed, but I don't care.
Because initially, the way my mind worked, something like that, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's alluding to. Oh, right. Oh God, why?
Right. And that, yeah, the CGI was like ridiculous in that. I mean, there were several scenes that it was like,
That was
whoa.
so much of the
Oh, it was, but it was still so good.
like it. I honestly would kill to know.
You could probably Google.
I probably could, but
Yeah, but Chishia is just
best boy.
the best. Love that character. He was so good.
I really like the actor.
Yeah, like I kind of want to see some clips of him and other things, just clips to see, like, because look, they're not going to sound, I doubt that they're going to sound the same unless you have the same voice actor dubbing their voice.
What's possible you do.
Okay.
And I'm only saying that because people who do dubbing, they're known for dubbing. Like, they don't do other stuff.
And then they dub for the same actors all the time?
A lot of the time. Like,
I mean, because that would be amazing. Because to me, if a different voice came out of him, I'd be like, oh no.
Let me.
That's not Archishia.
Let me reframe that. I don't necessarily know if they do the same actor, but like, I almost said Ray Charles. Not. No, there's a guy I really like for dubs that. Like if he's on a project, I know it's gonna be a good one. He does so many things that he probably basically shat like 3 or 4.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I can't get Ray Charles out of my mind.
That is the other thing. Like Squid Game, it is dubbed in English. And to me, like Squid Game, it's not distracting that it's not matching their mouth. There are a lot of things that I watch like that it's like, okay, this is too distracting, I can't watch it. But Squid Game and Alice in Borderland, I don't know how they did it. They found a way to make it not as distracting, and I actually feel like they are saying those words.
I'll tell you what, there's like a couple reasons why that's probably happening. One, you're not someone like me. Wrong tongue movement, I just know inherently.
But a lot of them.
Then also too, part of it is you're enjoying the show.
Oh, I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm trying not to watch their mouth. It's like I'm watching their eyes.
Yeah,
I'm watching their eyes, and I actually noticed when we were watching it, because it was the second time for me. There were a couple of times where the mouth movements matched the words for a moment, for like one or two words. It was like, oh, check that out. Oh, you know. But yeah, it just didn't bother me.
Yeah, but part of that is also
because I was enjoying it so much.
So there is no actual
okay,
but I love that the AI overview for there isn't much info about the budget for Borderland. Anyway, I saw something else or I misread.
So, what I would like to know in the comments, you guys, is have you watched Squid Game? Are you a fan of Squid Game? Tell us what you think of season 2. And also, have you watched Alice in Borderland? And what do you think of it? Let us know. And are you looking forward to season 3 of both shows? Like, I need to know things. Discuss. Bring it to me, man. Give me those comments.
I remember what the other thing was that was funny. The autofill, when I put in Alice in Borderland budget, the next autofill was in rupees. Which, why?
Well, we could calculate that.
I just don't understand why you would ever want to know in rupees.
I don't know.
anything is worth for that matter.
I don't know.
Because it's fun. I had a weird like moment when I saw that. I realized, yeah, that comes up a lot for me whenever I type like the budget of it goes like in rupees. I'm like,
I don't know why. That's so weird.
Who's asking this? Why is this coming to me? I don't want to know.
Right, exactly.
I don't live in India.
So
it's gotta be like the second most.
So what else? So what else do we want to say about Alice in Borderland? Oh, that question that you had asked me yesterday. Want to ask that question?
The arc one.
The like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the arcs.
Okay.
But I think anyone who watches the show would probably end up agreeing with me that there's basically a nice little standard 3-act setup, or in Japan it's referred to as an arc, because that is a thing. You have story arc, and there kind of is 3 arcs for this. So you have the first half of season 1, second half of season. I was asking her last night after we finished what her third of.
Right. So he had said like the beginning part, the beach section, or season 2, basically. So for me, the beach is in third place. Like, it's great. I like it. It's cool. And I'm having a hard time going between. I think I landed on a favorite, but I was having a hard time between the beginning of season 1, the first part, and then all of season 2. Because season 2 is it's satisfying, and there's the character building in season 2 is so good. Like, you're already invested because of season 1, and so they continue to draw you in during season 2 with the character building that they're doing. Like, it's amazing. I love to see where these characters are going, and the personal struggles they're having, and then even how they got there. Like, it's so good. So I think I have to say that season 2 would be my number 1, and then the beginning of season 1 is number 2. And the beginning of season 1 is so good because there's an air of mystery. You don't know what's going on. You're trying to figure out these games just like everybody else is. And you're getting to know these characters at the same time. So I think because, things were concluding in season 2, and you got the buildup of these characters a little bit better in season 2. In fact, in season 2, there was only like 1 or 2 main characters. Like, what you would consider main characters.
I don't remember.
I think something like that. Like, not as many.
Yeah. Honestly, there weren't. I think it's both.
Well, no, because you want to consider like the girl that they were with, and Hatter.
I don't consider the girl. She was there for an hour and then died.
That's true, but Hatter definitely.
Yeah, definitely Hatter.
And of course, you thought that there were 2 others that died that did not die.
Right.
Bastard.
Look, everyone knows.
Walking into a fire. I mean, you know,
you could kind of maybe
might be able to survive. Unbelievable.
I was more so reference half a maggot fire body.
It was just a heart attack, right? They just suffered heart attacks.
Actually, we don't know that for her. Only 2 we have that
We have
Also, wasn't it?
3.
Also,
A Goonie was also confirmed. Heart issue. Yes. Yep.
it does seem like everyone who
It was
had
a heart
cardiac
issue.
arrhythmia.
Right. So funny. So good. It's so good.
But like that parallels with respect.
Right. Right. For sure.
Everything happens the way.
Whoop. Yeah. It's so good. I cannot wait for season. So now what is your take on, the beginning, the beat, and then season 2? Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I know you really like the beat.
I will steadfast. The beach left a lot. It left me wanting more beat
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Like not even remotely close.
Well, the first time I saw, the end of the beach was essentially, it was the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, but now they don't have the beach. Like, that's not good. Like, why did we do that? But it's because, it became a game arena. So the first go around, I really wanted more of the beach, but the second time I watched it, I didn't.
We do
if that makes
have
sense.
do have proof that she made 7 of hearts.
It was a hearts game, yeah.
We have proof.
Or Arisu.
Yeah. Because that 10 of hearts game proved that in of itself. That means
The 10 of heart. Which one was the 10?
That was the beat.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That proves that she wasn't lying when she.
And how do you where are you coming?
Okay,
you've got me lost on that one.
So the whole time it's being kind of, it's not ever explicitly asked, it's not even really questioned that much. But where are the games coming from? Why are these locations being picked? How is this occurring? That beach game, who was in when that was occurring, able to tailor the game to the people that were already there.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that arena was probably the closest to them when that arena would have been the closest to, like, did the beam thing.
Right.
She knew she would get those 4 to meander over there for the next game. So these things were being decided like on a whim.
Yeah, I guess. But I really feel like the 10 of hearts game was more for a Goonie.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was for a Goonie.
It was
100%.
It was basically a Goonies game.
Yeah.
Even though everybody who is there plays,
right.
I feel like it is always directed at somebody, especially those hearts games.
Yeah.
The hearts games, it's like, this is yours.
Yeah, it might not be for the other games as much.
Just like Arisu had to play the Queen of Hearts. First of all, no one else could play the Queen of Hearts because everybody's laying in the street dying.
Well,
and Usagi didn't have to play. Only Arisu had to play.
Only but the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So there are, you even see at the end, there are a ton of people that do make it out of Borderland perfect. Like, they make it out fine. Other people did survive the other games. It's just we've shown those people because they can't. So other people could have gone to the Queen.
Right.
He was the closest. He got there first.
Right.
It was being.
And I feel like, is it possible that any of those other games were also basically one-player games? Because basically, when you look at it, that was really a one-player game.
It was a one-player game, but the player was always
I'll be right back.
Problem. in that you're kind of like, because I assume you're referencing Hearts game, Seven of Hearts.
No, the Queen of Hearts. Queen
Oh.
of Hearts. That was a one game.
Yeah.
And Arisu had to be the one.
I mean,
basically.
because it's
right, but I mean,
I think realistic have to be.
But I think she expected it.
She might have. And that could, and honestly, that would lend itself to what I was saying earlier. She was able to like pick her arena. She put it closer to him.
Right.
I think it's very likely that is probably the one thing that she was true. Bullshit.
Yes. Yes.
And
yeah, that whole thing just plays with your mind so bad. And then when they come back, you're still kind of not, you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, it messes with you. It really does.
Yeah.
It messes with you a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely have thoughts, like, so we already know how the
I still want to buy it and read it, though.
Oh, for sure. You still gotta see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally have slight difference in the endings because they imply two very different. Even though it's a slight change, the implication is completely different.
But you know what though? Because of where season 2 ends, season 3 can really go just about anywhere it wants to.
Oh, that's who the Joker is, possibly.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. They changed it from the book, so I don't know what the actual.
Okay.
There's one thing that
and
happens.
It doesn't mean that anybody that we know is the Joker.
No,
it may not mean squat.
No, but it doesn't. But the way the book, there's a little like couple sentence conversation that, and then it cuts to the Joker, and she doesn't know that. Oh, we're doing spoilers. There's like a couple sentence thing that happens between Arisu and Usagi, and then it does the table.
Right.
That also heavily changed the implication of the, because this whole time I wasn't even, that it was just the time. That's where my mind. Oh, 2 years difference. That changes the tone of the Joker entirely. Whereas, no, I think it has more to do with conversation.
Okay. Well, I mean, we will see when season 3 comes out later this year. We'll get lots of answers for Squid Game season 3.
I'm not.
And season 3 for Alice in Borderland. I'm so excited.
I'm not looking.
No. You're still going to watch it, though.
Watch it.
Okay.
I'm still going to watch it. I'm just not looking forward to it as much, seeing that the endings were basically identical. So unless it's going to be like a,
I think it's going to be
somehow.
I bet that it's going to be amazing.
Say that.
I don't think it's going to be a prequel, though.
Yeah, and
I don't think it's going to be a prequel.
And we know they're probably not doing retry.
No, but they may take some elements of retry.
Yeah, but that's like impossible. Honestly, I fully expect them to just take basically only the ending of.
Okay.
Because the ending of retry puts a nice little bow on everything.
Okay. I mean, they might do that. We don't know yet. We know that it's filmed.
But then that means what the hell is all in between?
Well, we'll find out. Hey, look.
I don't like.
As long as Chishia is there.
I don't like when
good.
When you take something that's already established as its own thing, and then you adapt it to another media. Wow, this was really. Oh, it's making a lot of money. Want more? We finished it. It's done.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
Love these
'cause
characters.
I'm going to relish how much you're going to regret that.
I think I'm still gonna love it.
No, I think you are going to end.
Chishiya, but
You're going to end
Chishiya,
up displeased and unsatisfied.
but Chishiya, like
Yeah.
he's freaking worth it. He's worth
Yeah,
it.
ruining a whole franchise is
It
worth
could be the worst thing ever, and as long as he is there with
They're gonna
his
kill him.
comments,
They're gonna kill him, and
and-
you're gonna get even more pissed off.
oh yeah, if he
It'll be the
dies,
first scene. Of
if
the
he
first
dies, I'm
episode.
pissed. Yeah.
First scene, first episode.
But then Aguni, I really like him too. He's got a couple of good lines.
They're gonna
he's
kill
pretty
off
good.
everyone except Arisu and
Usagi.
Usagi, and then they're gonna put them back in Borderland just so that you have to stick on for another garbage.
Well, I no and I'm pretty sure season 3 is going to be. I think that's it.
I am as well. I just hope the reports are wrong. If they do retry, then that's.
But
fine.
I think retry is going to be too. I think it's too short. It's literally only 2 books.
And they're doing 1 season.
I don't know. They're gonna have to do a lot because the books aren't that. The mangas are not very long.
They're not long.
I mean, that one volume.
There's a shitload of detail.
That one volume that is books worth was only 2 episodes.
Yeah, but it still feels like in the series there was more breathing room for them to do things within those 2 episodes. Like those 2 episodes could have been 3, maybe 4 episodes. And
maybe.
And depends on how retry is paced. Depends on how the book is paced compared to the original. So,
right. And I can't find it. It was, when I looked it up, it said that it was done in English, but I cannot find it anywhere to purchase. So it's in every other language, and that's retry. The
French?
other ones are all in English, and I have them all on my Amazon wish list. But retry, I can't find it in English. Find it in Italian. I can find it in French and German and Japanese, but I can't find it in English. But supposedly it was translated into English at some point, because I would love to. So I think that is about it. That is gonna do it for our chit chat about Squid Game and Alice in Borderland. Great show. If you haven't seen it and you enjoyed Squid Game, I would highly recommend it. Very, very good.
Anyway, yeah, I have very little faith. I think I'm wrong.
And if you have seen them, if you're fans of these types of shows, leave us some comments. Especially if you've seen Alice in Borderland. If you got some stuff to say. But if you watch Squid Game and you're a fan of that, let us know. What are you thinking about season 3 coming? And so yeah, so we've got, what's awesome on Netflix this year is we've got Squid Game season 3, we've got Alice in Borderland season 3, we've got Stranger Things season 5. I mean, hello. It's been so long. I'm going to have to watch probably the last season or the last couple of episodes at least of Stranger Things to remember where it all left off at. I thought there was one more thing coming out on Netflix. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, those are the things that are cool. So I think that is going to do it for this podcast. Keep your eyes open on the channel for a very short video, little life update video, and kind of a channel announcement too. That's going to be out tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. But it'll be out relatively quickly. So who knows? Maybe we'll film it right after we're done and just put it up right away. We'll see what happens. So, all right, I think that's going to do it for this. Have anything to add right now? Good. Did you love Alice in Borderland as much as I did?
Well, I'm a little worried for certain actors' safety, but outside of that, yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I think he liked it.
No,
So,
it was really good. The hell?
I don't think they can't hear that, right?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Maybe while
think
we're
it's-
talking.
I think it's pretty well blocked.
Yeah, but once you start talking, noise gate is off.
Yeah. Well, if you can hear that, that's Rachel and her music. She back and forth here, with the Japanese. That is. So that is going to do it for this podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And like I said, leave us some likes, some comments. Go ahead and subscribe. And that's it, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.